Hi, it's Dustin Lanier. Thanks for listening. Please find me on LinkedIn for original public sector operations content every week. And please reach out to me if I and my team of procurement professionals at Civic Initiatives can help you be a public procurement change agent. I'm excited to get to speak to the International City and County Managers Association in about a week, specifically September 19th at 12 p.m. in their 108th annual conference. And I'm going to be speaking about procurement as a service, stories from the field. So what is that? I'm going to cover why procurement should be a priority for city and county managers. What is procurement as a service? Who needs procurement as a service? And within that, I'm going to highlight 4 profiles. First, I'll be covering why procurement should be a priority. So at the Government Financial Officers Association, I was asked several questions that I turned into an article called Procurement as a Focal Point, where I was making the case that procurement is not something that can simply be covered by finance or legal, that it's its own professionalized function that sits within the nexus of those groups. Strategic procurement brings a variety of skill sets, supply chain skill sets, spend analysis skill sets, risk management skill sets, contract creation, system design. So that vision is, of course, affected by the staffing challenges that we all continue to see. So I'm going to talk about why procurement is hard to staff and maintain and what we're seeing from some folks that we're working with. Procurement as a service. That is setting up functions that extend and enable the procurement shop. So whether the procurement shop has needs on baseline operations, being able to execute some of the logistical work so that it's back on track, clearing backlogs, bringing specialized expertise to specific activities, being able to have access to people with an extended skill set and get back on an overall even keel. Another aspect of procurement as a service, those special projects for the procurement shop that seem to never get done, like procurement manuals, creating good contract management processes, grant management processes, process improvements, training, good approaches to automation. And then finally, I'm going to be covering the 4 profiles of local governments that I see needing help in procurement as a service these days. And I'm going to describe them as the one-man band, the invisible man, the vase curator, and the surge protector. The one-man band may be one where there's no procurement function because the shop is otherwise so constrained that the CFO or administrative officer wears multiple hats, and procurement is one of many things that that person is responsible for, and there's no bandwidth. In the invisible man scenario, the shop is large enough to have a procurement function, but either they've chosen to not staff it, or what they're calling procurement is an after-the-fact purchasing validation exercise that is tying up loose ends, but it's not applying any of the core principles up front, and procurement is wildly decentralized among the departments. For the vase curator, picture a museum docent who's trying to keep vases upright on pedestals despite a bunch of people walking by and creating breezes. And that's an example of the shop may be generally stable, but if 1 or 2 of those people leaves, a ton of knowledge goes out the door with them, and then the shop is basically back at zero again. And then the surge protector profile is one in which maybe it's a shop that is overall well-staffed and can withstand the change of 1 or 2 people, but even with that, the amount of work that is coming through procurement these days, given the federal money and some of the other processes, that's created a huge wave that is coming towards that shop to absorb that surge. They need a way to be able to deal with it. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And I hope that it's interesting to you and to that audience. Please chime in below with any observations you have on those profiles, and let's get a conversation going. Thanks, and let me know what you think.